Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dean, a photographer and retoucher here at idbProFotos, a channel that's dedicated to everything photography. Yes guys, as you can see, I'm on my way to Leeds. Yes guys, I'm going to be doing something slightly different. Today, we are going to be having an interview with one hell of a talented model. Yes, Jean Saxton. Oh my God, yes, Marie is one hell of a talented model. She's a model, she's a stylist, she's a makeup artist, she's a events manager, director. Honestly, she's just hands-on, does everything. So yes, the whole point or the purpose of this interview really is to kind of just help each other out. So this kind of involves bringing other people on this platform and talk about sort of what they do. And who knows, there might be a 16-year-old out there or somebody who's considering getting into modeling, but they don't really know how to start or where to go on about it. Marie hopefully will give us some insight or some information as to how, if you're a photographer and you want to start working with models, how you can start building your portfolio, how you can approach models, where you can find models, more importantly. So guys, yes, sit back, grab some popcorn, and let's have some fun, guys. Let's just chit chat.
Don't look back, my mama always used to say you'll find another. Endless love is coming, I'll be sure of that, but it's so hard. 'Cause it's you, always on my mind. It's you, taking all my time. Let it sink in, haven't you been hurting enough? Give you all of my love.
So today we've got the lovely Marie, and for those who don't know who Marie is a model. She's a creative, what do we call it?
Creative director.
Director.
Yeah.
What else do you do? You do your own makeup, or you do your shoots as well?
My own
You do
makeup,
your
my own
makeup.
styling. I
Yes.
build shoots for other people, for events, for commercial bookers, for shops, that type of thing. So, yeah.
Great. Then you've also got, obviously, baby on the way.
I
Congratulations.
do, but I'm not stopping.
Yes. Yes. It's quite clever how you've been able to kind of, obviously you can't really do the other stuff, like whatever. Then you're doing all your packages with the pregnancy stuff, which is
Yeah, I've had to adapt how I model and then look at my skill set that I've acquired from modelling and switch it into a different job, hence the creative director status.
Yeah, it works really well. Like I say,
But
I've worked with Marie.
yeah.
I'll show some of the images from our recent shoot, and let's say what I'm gonna do on this video. I will show everybody some of your best work. I'll let you pick which work you want me to show on there. Or maybe should I just pick?
Yeah, I'll let you pick.
Yeah.
You can pick.
Less controversial.
You pick. I'll be there forever. I'm too indecisive. I'm too critical of my own work. I'll be like, I can't do it.
I love that. So, how did you get into modeling? I suppose that's because what I'm trying to get from this interview really is just gonna give. Because as a photographer, sometimes you don't really appreciate what sort of work goes into being a model.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it's not just about standing in front of a camera. There's a lot of other stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of, if somebody was thinking about getting into modeling, 18-year-old, and thinking, I want to be a freelance professional model. Sort of the things that you'd look at. So I think it'd be quite good to kind of understand your journey, sort of where you started and how you started.
Blimey, my journey. I mean, I'd be showing my age, but don't be fooled by the aesthetics in the face. But I started when I was about 14 or 15, so I was very young. My first proper shoot was for a local camera club. I turned up, I thought there were going to be like 5 or 10 people, which was enough at that age because I was shy and terrified, meek, mild Marie. And there were like 30 plus. It was terrifying. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd had no direction. I'd never posed in front of a camera before. and I was shy. So, you know, I want to say a boot with a goose. That was my first shoot. I sort of dipped my toe in and out, did a few locally bits, nothing special for a few years. Vanished, did a fine art degree, concentrated on like self-portrait work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually a self-portrait artist
Like painting
by
and
trade.
drawing and...
Painting, drawing, photographic, stop motion film, that type of thing. So I did that type of thing for years. And then I moved back and I just had a crack at it properly. When I took it seriously when I was about 24, 25. Got into it. I was really into my pin-up, my rockabilly, all things alternative at the time. So that's what I did. And then I got pregnant with my first child. Didn't model for a while. My experience of that was I wanted to, and I got to a certain point where obviously certain parts of your body start filling out and your face gets fatter and rounder and you've got chins. And people were making comments and they were quite hurtful, you know, saying, oh, you don't really want to photograph you because you're a bit fat now.
Really?
Like, well, I'm
photographers
pregnant.
or,
Yeah,
to
photographers.
your face as well?
No, usually online, you know. Keyboard warriors. There's lots of them.
Awful.
I know. I was only about 24, 25 as well, so I didn't have thick skin at that age. I do now, but I didn't then. So I just sort of shied away from it, and then I had my baby, and I lost my baby weight, and I just gradually got back into modelling, and I had a couple of part-time jobs alongside as well as being a mummy, and then I just sort of progressed further and further, and I just really pushed my modelling.
So how did you come to decide, you know, how much you actually want to charge photographers in a photo?
When I realised how much it was costing me to build my wardrobe and how expensive it is.
So you actually started sort of doing a lot of TF?
I did, yeah. I actually shot TF for quite a long time. Not a lot of people realise this. So I shot a lot of TF up and down the country. I've even shot it abroad, because I do think it's well worth your while if it contributes to your portfolio, to your look, and you know you can gain paid work from it. Yeah. Absolutely shoot TF with the right people. Yeah. Not with everyone, which is what I did many years ago. I would not recommend shooting TF with everyone. Because then people don't take you seriously.
Yeah, because I often just wonder what it actually, you know, when you come to a figure, say, look, I want to charge £50 an hour.
That's steep even for me. Dean, you're expensive.
So how do you come to that? Or do you just kind of check with other models or something? What's being...
Well, yeah, you start to recognise a going rate between girls of what levels they shoot, whether they shoot up to lingerie, whether they shoot up to nude, or they just shoot up to fashion and portrait. And then you look at the distance you're willing to cover as a model. Are you just wanting to work locally, in which case it might only cost you about a tenner to get somewhere. Yeah. If you want to go further afield, and I highly recommend anyone goes further afield to push themselves, you obviously need to take into account what you're going to be paying out travel-wise. Otherwise, you'll earn nothing. Yeah. You know, you're not doing it just for the sake of doing it as a job. It doesn't pay your bills. So
just to give photographers a bit of an idea why a model charges, you know, how much would you say? Because I've seen your wardrobe. You know, just
my room, my room, which is overflowing into another room. Oh, I've got more gowns being made, by the way.
There we go.
I'll need another room.
Just to give him a give him a bit of a flavour. You know, how much would you say is the most expensive item you're currently on? You know, which is specifically
right. I have a gown which would retail as up to about £1,000. It's hand-stitched, couture, made by my favourite designer, which is House of O. As you know, I work with her a lot. Yes. Her designs are all very one-off. You cannot buy them off the rack. Yes. They're all mostly hand-sewn. They're very beautiful and very highly detailed. So, yeah, you're getting your money's worth. If you book someone that puts the money into their wardrobe, I like to source things very meticulously. Not just for a one-off event. I'll think of, I might want to shoot an editorial, or I'll happily put that money into hiring something from a designer as well. So sometimes I might put a full editorial together, and I will put the money into hiring the gowns, the pieces, whatever it is I get.
That's right. What about things like just sort of working with other models, as in sort of duos and things like that? 'Cause I've kind of seen quite a lot of that as well.
I used to shoot the occasional duo, or I had close friends that I would shoot duo with. Sadly, some of those don't model so much anymore. They just sort of dropped off the circuit. They decided they want to do other things, which happens. I obviously decided I want to model until my arms and legs drop off, yes. So I'm still around. But yeah, duo's not for me personally, no. And obviously, it's more expensive for photographers to book you as a duo.
Yeah.
You're looking at studio days of an hour with 2 models with a studio rate on top. You're looking at what, £75 an hour or something for a reasonable rate for both girls, or girl and a boy, and the studio rate on top as well.
You're almost kind of gonna halve the money that you're gonna get, aren't you?
It's an expensive hobby. If it's a hobby for someone, it's an expensive one, but it's very much important that you invest in paying models as well. What you get, screw that bit up, Dean. It's really important that you put money into building your portfolio, either as a photographer or a model. Paying for the right models will elevate your portfolio.
100%.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
It's great if, everyone's got to start somewhere. And as I said, I started off, and I did TF for years. I found it very worthwhile in a way of getting my face out there and getting people to notice me and want to work with me. Gradually, I turned that into paid work. Yeah. It has its uses.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
But there comes a point where you have to sort of go, no, I need to stop working for free now.
Yeah, stop.
Both ways, both models and photographers.
What about involving makeup artists on shoots? Do you think it's something that's beneficial to photographers and models as well?
It's very much worthwhile to get yourself a good makeup artist if you've got a specific concept in mind. If you were to put a casting up, and I see this all the time, you put a casting up asking for an MUA, you've got to think as well, are they also good at hair? Yeah. Because there's nothing worse than hiring an MUA and then they're like, oh, I don't know what to do with your hair now. And you're like, oh. And it might be like a really avant-garde 20s look or something, and you've got hair like mine. What are you going to do with it to make it, period appropriate?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So you've got to really do your research and consider every single applicant and look around. But they're worth paying as well. They are absolutely worth paying.
I agree.
The amount of money MUAs put into their kit, I mean, Kelly is a good example. Yes. Like, who, we work with a lot. The link in Kelly, yeah. But she puts so much time and money into her kit, sourcing items from all over. I mean, I even have, I think, specific items within her kit that she uses for me because she paints my face so often, as you know.
yes, we'll work together. Yeah, absolutely.
But she's worth her weight in gold because she's really put the time and money in.
She knows what she's doing, innit?
Yeah.
You can just focus on everything else and not really worry too much about it.
It does alleviate that stress.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, if I'm getting ready for a studio day, obviously I'm going to do my own makeup.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you've probably worked with a makeup artist and they've done your makeup, because they've got to understand your face.
I've had people paint my face. I mean, I've gone to the toilet, Dean, and gone, why have I got an eyebrow up here? And like that, I look like Liza Minnelli. done? Like, what have you done? Like, they've given me, like, they've not filled things in properly. Eyelashes, my pet peeve is when someone else applies eyelashes and they're just sort of like, just here. Just this corner here. You might get it when you come to retouching photos, Dean. When you have a good old zoom in and it's just sort of peeling away from the lash line.
Oh my god, I see it quite a lot.
What do you do with that?
Sometimes, you know, I just look and just think I'm not gonna bother.
I'm not button bin.
Just leave that. And
Put it in the
sometimes
bin.
when you've got a really good pose,
Yeah.
but they just that finer detail missing. It's like, what does it involve being a model?
What,
You know,
what does modelling involve? Well, it's more than, you
Or
know,
should I say a freelance model.
a freelance model. It's a lot more than standing there and looking pretty. In fact, some of your best models, I would say, are not typically beautiful. You know, you've got to have something of interest about you, but
Yes.
you've got to be confident in yourself. You've got to make sure you keep yourself safe as well. Do your homework, do your research on the people you're going to work with, speak to other models.
Yeah.
So as a freelance model, you're basically an accountant, promo, you do all your own promo, you're obviously the model, you're a makeup artist, you're a stylist, you're everything.
Yeah.
You do not get paid for those hours that you're not in front of the camera. And I think a lot of people don't understand that and they just think, oh yeah, just bring that thing with you. I've had so many people before message me for studio days saying they want a book. Brilliant. And it could be down south somewhere. I turned up with a huge case full of stuff plus bags.
Yeah.
So I've got everything and I cover a wide spectrum of looks. And then you'll get halfway or towards the end of a shoot and the guy will be like, oh, is this picture of you? He's got it up on his phone. Oh, this is a picture of you. Have you got this thing? I'm like, no. That's why I messaged you
See what
preliminarily to ask you,
Yeah.
what do you want to shoot on the day? I'm coming down from Leeds. I like to make sure I have everything packed that you're wanting to shoot.
Yeah.
They never tell you everything. You're just going to magic it out of your backside.
Just up with the things that they need on the day.
Yeah. Or my other thing is when they ask you how you did a specific shot with a photographer, like a well-known photographer,
Okay.
can you do that for me? Can you light it? Can you pack? They do.
Yeah.
They tell you to pack all the specific things you wore for that one shot they saw on Purple Pot, and then they make you light it. So, oh yeah, you're a lighting person as well. I forgot about that, Dean. So you also have to be able to light yourself.
Wow.
I'd say that's a very valuable skill,
That's
is
good. I mean,
understanding light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's one of the things that one of my pet hates when you work with somebody who doesn't understand lighting, because you find yourself, you know, because as a photographer, the best thing what you want to do is just come in and focus on your shooting, and the model does the modelling. So if they understand lighting, cuts your job massively. So that's
It massively elevates you as a model. If you understand lighting and the equipment and whatnot, then yeah, you're worth your weight in gold.
Asking you to light it. Let's replicate the image.
I have been booked to replicate images.
That's good.
I have.
I think you need to add that to your CV.
I
Things that you.
won't do it anymore. I tell people no. I tell people, if you really want to get that shot, that's great. I suggest you contact such and such who shot that image with me for tuition.
Makes sense, though.
I hope.
Makes a lot of sense. No, that makes a lot of sense. So I think
Yeah.
I think it's So in terms of work, then, how do you actually find work? Is it you know?
I find work through Instagram, Facebook, word of mouth as well. People like you, they'll tell their friends. Purple Pot as well. I do use Purple Pot. At the minute, I probably get the majority of my work through my Facebook page for events or my Instagram. But the key thing is, if you keep yourself very active on social media, or try to, it keeps you very current, it keeps you ticking over, even if you're just chucking a couple of selfies up like I did today, before you turned up like, just going to do my interview. But it keeps people looking like, oh, what are they doing, what they're doing. And you look busy,
Yeah.
they want to book you.
Yeah, because that's the thing I think about, because Instagram has got a really bad habit of like forgetting you
Forgetting you.
if you don't post.
Oh my God, that time I took off. I actually thought I'd fallen off the grid myself because I didn't see any images of me edited for such a long time because I'd not been shot as a model.
Yeah.
You do kind of fall off the grid, and it's so easy, and it can happen quickly as well. So it's really, really important that you keep yourself current on social media.
Yeah.
I've had lots of people say that. I mean, obviously we had lockdown, so a lot of people just didn't shoot. Some people really didn't want to shoot remotely and just completely put the cameras down. Some people sold the kit, which is quite sad.
Have you done remote shooting yourself?
No. I'm actually probably one of few models that hasn't done any remote shooting. I am considering it, but it costs a considerable amount to set up.
You've got to get yourself a camera first, then
Camera, laptop,
things,
stuff. Yeah.
Well, if you sell one of your gowns, you'll be fine.
Do you know what? If I sold 2 of my gowns, I'd be laughing, but I'd be heartbroken. I'd rather have more gowns. I'm not gonna lie, I love my gowns.
Just like keep shop buying stuff. No, I think it's quite helpful because I think the whole as I mentioned before about this interview is I think it's just kind of just to appreciate models a little bit. So I don't think people just think, oh, it's just pretty face. There isn't really much that goes on.
Her job's to stand there and look pretty. It's not.
And I think that there is a lot more involved with, say, this admin, this, when you're doing your events management,
The admin.
By the way, I've worked with Marie, and the organisation is just, it's almost like an obsession, isn't it?
It is a little bit obsessive. I do live my life by lists, Dean. Have you not seen my list? I have 5 notepads, event for this, everything. I do.
Yeah.
I love to have everything written down in front of me, concrete. I like to know what's what, when it's arriving, if it's millinery that I've ordered, down to the timings of the shoot, who's doing my makeup, what time everyone's arriving to set up. Does anyone have any food allergies? Because I'm a feeder and I want to feed you. I like to buy snacks.
Yeah.
I think, it's little details that make a big difference for the day.
I think I would highly recommend, obviously, people to just keep an eye out for your events.
Oh, thank you.
If you're looking for honestly, guys, if you look for something or an event to get involved in, it's highly organised.
Oh.
And just very creative. I think that's the most important thing about, sort of when I saw you swinging on that little swing when I'll share, I'll put
yeah. I couldn't resist. Yeah, I made Richard do a BTS of me sat on the swing. I wanted to test it and make sure it didn't fall off. Because what we got was actually a child's swing. We only needed a small swing because my model was petite. And I just vined roses and ivory around it and decided that it would be sensible to test it out at least. I think Rich was a bit concerned. He's like, "You're pregnant?" I was like, "I know." We'll put some pillows on the floor if you're concerned. I don't have too far to fall.
you look very happy on the swing.
I was.
I will share the little clip because you look very content with life. So.
I'll send you that clip.
So in terms of the future, what's the plan? Obviously, we're waiting for the baby to pop.
Pop. Nearly at 7 months now. Not far.
So
Yeah.
what is the plan? What
plan?
When you get back? Because we do appreciate, with modelling, it's probably going to come to a point where you think, you're probably not going to do modelling that much and focus on.
That's kind of now.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to model anymore. I love modelling, but the reality of it is I'm 33, not old by any account. But
massively younger than me, by the way.
Dean was about to reveal his age. But there comes a point where you have to look at your skill set that you've acquired as a model over the years. Yeah. And for me, I'm very good at organising things, I have to say.
Creative. Absolutely.
Control freak, what could I say? I mean, if you put me down for a job to organise something, it will be done by the week. Because I don't like it lingering. I like to know all the fine-tuned details are put down, and then you can concentrate on all the fun stuff and all the creativity.
So it's going to be more sort of your events?
Yes, it is. I am going into more events, my creative directing. I'm a glorified pen pusher, I think. I think that's what I am now, a glorified creative pen pusher.
Yes.
Yeah.
think
that fine art degree is not collecting dust anymore.
It's definitely doing something.
It's got its use
I mean,
now.
I definitely one day when you're doing one of your events, I just want to come and see how you actually create sites.
Come along.
Because I just haven't got it. Because I want to do like.
You basically lock me in a room, ask me if I need a brew every so often, leave me to it.
Just like put things
Unless there's all that needs hanging, which obviously at the minute I'm not allowed to be climbing up things. So poor Richard at the last one was
He's the man,
tacking things to ceilings. So I could just be like, I really want to hang that wreath from there specifically. So I've got poor Richard hanging off ladders, hanging bits of like drapery for me, and then you just leave me. Just leave me. Just leave me. Yeah.
The safety side of things. Now, what would you recommend somebody?
Safety is
massive, isn't it? Really, for somebody
It
to
is.
start?
I've been very lucky. I've had like very minor few issues, but there are some models that have had some horrendous experiences. My top tip would be talk to other girls. Don't close yourself off completely. I've always sort of kept myself to myself, mostly. Don't do that too much, because it's very lonely, you know. It's really important to liaise with other models.
Yeah.
And watch and do your homework, because you might have a shoot booked in with such and such, and then someone else has had a bad experience with them. Do not ignore what they tell you, would be my biggest advice. I always had this rule of taking people on face value and meeting them for myself. There's a way of doing it. It's very difficult to explain. I think that's really important. It's not to listen to tit for tat rumour, if you like. But at the same time, do take it on board, because you don't want to invalidate somebody else's experience.
True.
That could have been really horrific for them. You don't know what they've been through. Do your homework. Speak to other models. Look at references across Purple Pot. But I would say as well, references across sites like Purple Pot, take them with a pinch of salt, and contact those models individually and speak to them and just say, hi, I've got a shoot booked in with such and such.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, what was your experience with him like?
Yeah.
Or her, you know?
But yeah, I do quite a lot of that. You know,
So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Yes, I'm really sorry that we had to cut the interview short because my camera decided to overheat. Thank you, Sony. But yeah, just this is what I was talking about. This is just pure, unbiased advice for somebody who does this day in and day out. So guys, this is what this channel is all about. As I said before, it's all about helping you. So yes, I just wanted to thank you all for just watching this video, and more importantly, just wanted to thank Marie for taking time to speak to us in a home, obviously. I hope you've taken something from this interview. So in future, I plan to bring other creatives on the platform. So that includes makeup artists, other photographers, not just in the modeling industry, but just photographers in general, you know, stylists, anything that's photography related, we'll be sharing on this platform. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you don't already do, be sure to hit that subscribe button and those notification bells so I can let you know every single time when I upload new content. So guys, until next time, don't forget, keep shooting.